here comes to our Form 5 Chapter 6. Now in this chapter, it's about permutation and combination. This is my first part of my video. So this first part of my video, I'm going to emphasize on only permutation. So if you're interested into only combination, then you should refer to my video 2, or second part of my video. So before I start with what is actually permutation, let me introduce you some equation. That would be, for permutation, you need to know what does it mean by NP permutation or placement R. Okay, NPR. Right. So to start out with, before we really get into actually permutation, if in the diagram, if in the event, if there are two events, well, 1, 2, 3, first event, you are going to have event A. First event, it's possible to have maybe PQR, something P, Q, and R. Following by event B, then after event A, maybe is successful or failure, successful or failure, successful or failure, successful or failure. The total outcome for these two events, continuation for this event, would be 3, because there are 3 possible outcomes in event A and 2 outcomes in every of the consequence of the event. So therefore, the total outcome is actually 3 times 2, which is 6. This is what you call this as a tree diagram. Whereby for this event, that's for P and successful. This is P and successful, whereas this is P failure. So 2, there's another 2 here, another 2 here, giving total 6 outcome. Okay, number of outcome. Now, next, this is something you should know, total outcome. What does it mean by permutation? Okay, permutation, given equation of NPR, is actually n factorial over n minus r, and then you factorial. So it's n top, n subtract r, then the factorial. Let me get into what does mean by factorial. Factorial would be like some rules. What does it mean by rules? Say if I were to have 3 factorial, example, it means you use 3 times the number before that is 2, the number smaller than that is 1, therefore it equals to 6. Now it's available in your calculator, this symbol, exclamation mark. You may look carefully into your calculator. It is somewhere near the x exponential, or somewhere near the constant button. You need to press on a shift, and then you can see an x exclamation. That is the factorial symbol. Okay, and also something you should know: if it were to be 0 factorial, when 0 factorial is actually equals to 1 factorial, which is also equals to 1. Now this is something that you should know by heart. It's not stated in some other places. 1. Okay. define it, whenever you come to SPM question, what does it mean by factorial NPR? It means the placement. The place is important. Placement is important. Placement is important, that's why it's P. Placement. What does it mean by placement is important? Let me give you one example. First example. You were given, let's say you were to have 5 objects. Maybe 5 different poster. You have 5 different poster. And you will only have 3 places to be placed onto the wall. Yeah? You only have 3 places. 1, 2, 3. And you have 5 objects into 3 places. So what I'm going to use is, what I'm going to do to make use of the equation, that will be 5 object placed into 3 places. Now how are you going to calculate that? What does it mean by P? It means, if you put in your calculator, you carefully look at it, it is somewhere near the multiply button. You need to press on the shift, and then you press on the multiply button, then you can have it. But of course, you need to press the number first. 5, shift, multiply button, then you press on the 3 and press on equal. Therefore, the answer would be equals to actually 60. Okay, this is one way of doing it. There are a few ways actually. So this is actually object placed into places. This is what it meant. So if you were to have 5 objects, another method of doing it would be, if you only have 3 places and you have 5 objects, 1 out of the 5 objects will be put into the first place, so 1 out of 5, so initially you have 5 choices. Then when you fill up the first place out of the 5 choices, then you left with only 4 places for the second place, followed by only 3 choices for the final place. And therefore, if you were to multiply them, 5 times 4 times 3, that's equals to 60. This will be the second method to solve it. Or the third method will be to make use of the equation. How can you do that? Well, first of all, it's 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 factorial. That will be equals to what? 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial. You simplify it. This is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 2 times 1. You should be able to cancel off, then therefore the answer come back to also 60. Okay. Object into places. So what does it mean physically? Physically it meant, if I were to have the arrangement is different, okay, you make use of this method, 5, 4, 3, is much more easier for you to really comprehend it. Say for example, second example, put it here. Now you were given 6 objects, A, B, C, D, E. Maybe I'll list it out. A, B, C, D, E, and F. So that I have 6 objects. So here, to let you know, there are 6 objects. Oh, I'll try not to use the same color with the previous example so that it will confuse you. Maybe I use this color. Total of 6 objects. Okay, of the 6 objects, there were only 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Now this time is conditioning. Yeah, they are conditioned. It's no more 6 places, 6 objects in 3 places. It's so easy. Now, question says, well, I want the last place ends with vowels. So there's some conditions. What you do, you need to box it up to remind yourself, okay, this place is reserved for vowels. Okay? Now, vowels. Then you ask yourself, what does it mean by vowels? You're like, oh, we have forgotten. What does it mean by vowels? Well, vowels would be A, E, I, O, U. What is defined vowels? Vowels would be A, E, I, O, U. Vowels is A, I, O, U. So, now, there are 3 methods to solve one question when it comes to permutation. It's not that always this 3 method is applicable, because sometimes, depends on question, some method is easier to handle by using specific method. For this method, then I will use the simple method. 1, 2, 3. Here, A, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. This is one of them. A, E, I, O, U. Since there are no repetition, you're not supposed to repeat them. So, last place over here, they are going to have 2 candidates to be able to fill this place only. It's limited to only 2. A, E, I, O, U. So it's A, E, so only 2. Now, what happens if you fill up the last place? You left it only 5 objects and 4 objects. And you multiply them. Therefore, the answer would be 5 times 4 times 2. The answer will be 40. This is one way of doing it. But of course, is the equation. I like equation because you say it's foolproof. Then okay, let me show you how to do that. It will be, first of all, you still need this diagram 1, 2, 3, but just that now the first place here would be 5 P2. 2 places into 1. Only A and E is vowels times 2 place 1. The answer will also be equal to 40. Okay? Either method. You may pause my video, rewind back to the previous few seconds, and have a look at how do I make it. You are always welcome to pause this any video you may just pause it, rewind back to the earlier minutes. That's the reason to why I decided to make them into YouTube. I doesn't need to repeat. Okay, so this will be another method of questions that will comes out. Now next example. Example number 3. That sounds a little bit complicated, but yeah. Says I want to have a there are 5 places, a badminton group of 5 players are chosen. 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Here, 5 places. Not object, 5 places. Now, these 5 places are choose from 3 boys. Maybe I will use 1, 2, 3 boys. I'll choose from 3 boys. Oh no, sorry. I think I can't use 3 boys. Otherwise, 3 boys, it won't be correct in that sense. I will use 4 boys, 4 boys, and 5 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 girls. 5 girls. 4 boys are chosen to be placed into a group of 5. Okay? Now, here it comes. What's the number of ways for a group to be arranged in a row for photograph? If 3 girls, okay, we need to choose based on here. They are going to have 2 boys and 3 girls. Okay, out of here, these 3 girls are supposed to be sit next to each other during this photography. Then, how is the outcome are supposed to look like? Or total number of way. Okay, so here it comes. So since we only have 3 girls and 2 boys, so what we'll do, they're sitting next to each other. Well, for these 3 girls, to meet this condition, 3 girls sit next to each other, it's possibly one way. This is one of them. One way, 2, and 3. Okay, and in within this subgroup, these 3 girls, in any of the 3 subgroups, this 3 is placed into this 3p3. But at the same time, there are 1, 2, 3 possible placement for this group. For this subgroup, there are 3 possible ways to arrange them. So, in order to get them into answer, the simplest way, therefore, the outcome, number of ways. Therefore, subgroup 3p3, 3 placed in the 3 object placed in the 3 places, times, the easiest way would be 3 different subgroups. Because what happened, 3p3 is actually 3 factorial over yn. It's actually 3 factorial over 3 minus 3 factorial when you have 0 factorial, which is equal to 1, that will be 3 to 1. 1. Oh, sorry, that will be not 3, that will be 3 times 3, 3p3, and there is 3p3. So therefore the answer would be equals to 36. Okay, subgroup, this is the subgroup. Now alternative method to solve that question, whereby you will only have 5 places, you have 3 girls and 2 boys, what happened is, for girls, okay, they are supposed to sit together, so meaning they're going to have 1 way, 2 ways, second way, and 3 ways. Now this is one example that make use of the tree diagram actually, but I hope you were able to see it. Now, for the first case, for the first instance of subgroup, this is a subgroup. What happened for the first subgroup? I'm confused with the 2. For the first subgroup, what happened? Since you are using permutation, we're talking about permutation, meaning the placement is important. So house arrangement, that would be 3 girls placed into 3 places. But you doesn't need you need to remember, there are 2 outcomes here, because the boys, you have 2 boys placed into 2 places for the first subgroup. So what happened here would be 6 times 2 equals to 12. Okay, you focus at one subgroup, what happened? But this subgroup is going to generate, this is one subgroup, second subgroup, third subgroup. What can you do? Therefore, the total way, total number of way can be arranged would be 12, or we rewrite the above equation, that would be 3 P3 times 2 P2. You need to times, there are 3 possible, 1, 2, 3. That's why you have 3. So therefore the answer will still be the same. This is 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, I hope this way is easier for you to look at it, whereby they elaborate more on it. First part, this is the girl. This is for the boys, arrangement of boys. This is number of possible group. So there are 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 3 possible groups. Okay. So I hope you may pause this and have a look at it, make your own notes before you resume it, or you may rewind to the previous or the earlier minutes before you proceed to my next equation, the next example. Okay. There might be some other variant, some other method. So I'll leave it to you all for practice. You try look into those way. Next, coming up next would be similar, but I hope you will excel with it. So I decided to bring another one. That would be, now you will have object like, I have object 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Out of these 5 objects, you were given only 3 places to be placed, and each number form are supposed to be even number. how to form an even number, even 3-digit number, even 3-digit number. Okay. Now, for this case, in order to be even, your last digit are supposed to be even, meaning 2 and 4 will be towards the end. So, therefore, the last place would have 2 candidates to be placed. And since you have 5 objects, you have placed 1 object towards the end, you left with only, yes, 4 objects. And then eventually you have 3 objects, and therefore this will be the number of way. Okay, so therefore number of way would be 4 equals to 24. Okay. Is it other way to do it? Yes. This 24 is basically equals to, for the first 2 place, you have 4 objects placed into 2. Why is it 4? Because the last digit are supposed to even. You have 2p1. 2p1. 2 objects placed into 1 place. So therefore is 4p2 times 2 or times 2p1. Okay. Right? Even number. Well, how about next? B. Part A, part B. They want it to be, how about a number, 3-digit number is a multiple of 5. Or 5 multiple. Okay? Well, in order to do that, a 3-digit number, 1, 2, 3, multiple of 5. So what we do is multiple of 5, it will be, the end of it will be either 1, oh sorry, will be either 0 or 1. But since the object doesn't have 0, so therefore 5 is the only candidate. So therefore this last digit here is only 1 possible number. And then here would be 4, then would be 3. So therefore number of ways to arrange it would be therefore 4 times 3, which equals to 12. Or the other method would be 4p2, 4 objects placed in 2 places, 1, 2, times, actually it's only 1, it's 1p1. So therefore it is 12. Still get the answer. Okay, there are 2 methods. Okay, so this is actually how it goes. And my part 1 of this chapter will be rather short because you need to really practice at your side. I can't really show, there's no way for me to show every single question. The method is always object and places. How many objects placed into how many places? And does it meet with the condition? Okay, just like the others advice, each part of my video should come with at least 20 questions. That is based on your personal attempt. You need to attempt it, in any reference book, any workbook. You must at least try at least 20 questions within a week. Not a day, but within a week. In 1 week time, you're supposed to, 7 days, 1 week, but 7 days, you're supposed to try out at least 20 questions. 20 questions, that's the commitment. But if it's too easy, then maybe you look for up to 30 to 40 questions, maybe 40 questions, to make yourself more comfortable with it already, with this equation. Or perhaps you have more confidence already, then you should then only proceed proceed to my second part of my video. Well, that's all for this part. I'll see. Hope you will come back for my second part of my video. That's all for now. Thank you for listening.